Okay, so our next talk will be now moving on. So we have from a community-based high school level, we are going to move on into a little bit more specialization. So giving college ideas. So we have JP. JP, please proceed.
All right, thank you, Ma'am Daang, from Ma'am May Joanne. Um, and good morning po sa lahat ng mga kasama po natin today. And we're really very sorry about the technical problem earlier. And yeah, nangyayari po talaga yan. So building on what Marty has already discussed this morning, let me just share my screen. Okay. Can you see it now, ma'am?
Yes, we can.
Okay, all right. So building on what Marty has already discussed about research ideation, we take it up a notch and tackle the research idea generation at the college level. So ang focus group po natin dito is yung mga college students who will be doing their thesis or research project, or those students that will do it in the near future. And we will provide tips on how to ideate your research topic. But these are not at all prescriptive, but merely suggestion on how to generate your research topic and your research question.
Yep, and then JP, just very quickly, this can also
Yes.
be applied at the high school level. So the tips that JP will be covering, you guys can apply this at the high school level.
Yeah. And well, frankly, life in general. Kasi hindi naman nagbabago yung ating theme. Okay? But before anything else, I would like to introduce myself. My name is JP Onya. And I also come from Batangas, like Dr. Jeffrey. And I also finished my bachelor's degree in chemistry in UPLB in 2008. And right after graduation, I worked at Petron Corporation as a chemist up until 2016. And then after that, I have decided to take up master's studies and pursue my love or my passion for research. And right now, I'm doing doctoral studies at Åbo Academy University in Finland. So ang location ko po right now is Turku, Finland, which is probably about 160 kilometers away from Helsinki, the capital. And yeah, in my years as a chemist, yung research and interests ko po would include analytical chemistry, electrochemistry, and electrocatalysis. Specifically, electrocatalysis in biomass conversion, which is the topic of my dissertation right now. All right. But today I will be talking about the research idea generation based on my experience as a scientist, as a chemist, and a researcher. Ayan. So ipapakita ko po ulit itong diagram na ito. And you can see here that college or the college level sits right smack in the middle. And that's because the college level is your gateway to formal research. So makikita po natin that the technical skills are a bit broader already compared to the high school level, because you will now have a certain degree of independence when it comes to carrying out research at this level. And the research focus, yung nasa gitna po, it would be more specialized, kasi you will now be tackling a specialized topic which pertains or relates to the coursework of your bachelor's degree. And of course, the research depth would be deeper, greater, because you will now have an ample amount of time carrying out the research. Let's say usually 1 year from ideation to thesis defense or paper submission. All right. So what I have here is a working definition of undergraduate research, and let me just read it. It is the practice of addressing a scientific problem or question, analyzing it within a disciplinary framework, producing results and conclusions, and clearly communicating and defending such to a critical audience. So, makikita po natin that this is just a mere restatement of the scientific method. Because you have a scientific problem, you analyze it with a certain set of methodology, you have results, you produce results and conclusions and communicate those results. Yun nga lang po, dito mas formal na yung treatment because you have to defend it to a critical audience, let's say your supervisors or your classmates, and you get a numerical grade for that, for your thesis. And also, undergraduate research is also considered as a capstone project. A capstone project is like the culmination of your bachelor's degree or the actualization of your bachelor's degree. And you will acquire a lot of soft skills pagdating po dito sa pag-carry out ng undergraduate research. There's resourcefulness, teamwork kung group project siya, research skills, critical thinking, goal setting, problem solving, and even public speaking. So kasama po yan lahat doon sa learning objectives for thesis and undergraduate research na makikarry over po natin when we step out of the university and into the real life sa mga workplaces natin. Madadala po natin yung mga matututunan natin from carrying out the college research project. So what we're going to tackle today is the ideation of the scientific problem or the statement of the research question. Okay? And a lot of students have this linear notion, katulad ng pinakita ni Marty kanina, about research. It's just a linear model. From the project assignment, you pick a topic, you search the literature, you do experiments and collect the data, write the manuscript and defend, and that's it. While sinabi na nga po ni Marty na this is a very dynamic process. Kasi po, oftentimes we encounter a lot of problems like too few related literature, konti lang yung literature sources. Kapag minsan na wala ka nang masulat about the topic, or you can't really base your background on anything. There's also the problem of too much related literature because ang daming sources na parang wala ka ng room for new ideas or novelty doon sa topic. There's also the problem of methodology kasi sometimes hindi available yung equipment or kulang tayo sa budget or walang data available for that aspect. And there's also some ethical restrictions, budget constraints, time constraints na parang will really draw you back and really discourage you to really proceed. And that's because we have failed to clearly delineate or clearly state the topic or the research question, because selecting the topic is research in itself. So sinasabi nga po na parang a day in the library will save you a week or even a year in the laboratory kasi kapag properly defined yung research question, you have a clear mind, you have a clear direction on how to proceed with your research. So, saan ba tayo talaga dapat magsimula? Now, a good place to start with your undergraduate research is the research guidelines. And these are the rules set out by the university regarding the thesis or the research project. And that includes the nature and scope, kung ano ba yung nakalagay sa curriculum nyo or sa syllabus. So, dapat mag-focus lang kayo dun sa specific topics na yon. So, the time frame is usually 1 year from the research proposal to the date of submission of the research project or paper submission or thesis defense. I can see the manuscript length kasi doon mo makikita kung gaano ba how in-depth you should go regarding the research. The data requirements, kung primary or secondary data ba. Primary meaning ikaw mismo yung nag-carry out ng experiments, ikaw yung nakakuha ng data at ikaw yung gumamit ng data na yon. Whereas yung secondary data would be like secondary sources like prior research or survey data that you gathered from the internet or other past experimental data. So yung methodology naman would be ano ba yung mga instrumentation or instruments that is available upon your disposal. Kasi importante yan kasi baka mamaya hindi naman pala available yung equipment, nakasama siya sa plano. So malaking drawback yon. And also ethical considerations if you are using like animal or human subjects with the thesis. So maraming ethical constraints yan. And also if you carry out like a survey or any survey that will collect personal or sensitive information. Ayan. So yung research topic ideation at the college level, we have envisioned this as a circular or a cycle that includes the topic selection, the literature search, and the topic evaluation. And we have envisioned this as a cycle because there's a cyclical nature of the ideation process. Because at the start of the ideation, meron kang specific set of priority questions na gusto mong ma-solve or gusto mong makita. And as you go along, the literature search and topic evaluation, pwedeng yung priority set of questions mo ay tama, are sufficient, or sometimes sometimes lacking. So kapag hindi na-identify yung tamang research question, you have to go back again and refine your topic, and then go back to the literature sources, and then evaluate once more. So para siyang cycle until a certain point where you have a topic that is already workable, that it already fits your conditions or circumstances dun sa university, and yun yung pwede mo na siyang ipa-approve or okay na dun sa professor nyo, yung lahat ng aspects ng topic. Okay? So yung refinement po can even go beyond the ideation stage kasi pag minsan yung data mo would suggest some new discoveries or some serendipitous discoveries that will really trace back dun sa statement ng research question. So sometimes pwede mong kailangan mong i-refine or i-modify or tweak the research question para mas maging substantial siya and coherent yung buong research mo. Okay? And sometimes even in writing the manuscript, mapapansin mo na parang hindi in line yung data mo with the topic. Sometimes parang kailangan mo pang bumalik ulit to see if there's some gaps that need to be addressed. Okay? So we can probably start with the topic selection itself. And in selecting a research topic, gaya sinabi ni Marty, it's very important to choose a topic that interests you. So parang yung topic na you feel very interested, and because if you think about, you will work on a project for 1 year, and the worst thing that can happen is you're working on a project that you hate or a topic that you don't like. So in choosing a topic, pwedeng gustong-gusto mo siya, pero masyado ka namang emotionally charged dun sa topic na yon, or there's really strong feelings or very strongly opinionated ka regarding that topic na nagde-develop ka na ng bias. So hindi rin maganda po yon. So dapat we strike a balance between interest and our strong opinions in choosing a topic. Now, to help you identify your research interest, you might want to visit this website by the DOST and consult the Harmonized National Research and Development Agenda for 2017 to 2022. So makikita po natin dito na marami silang mga priority research areas, let's say in basic research, disaster risk reduction, agriculture, natural resources, health industry, energy, na mga research areas po na kailangan po ng bansa natin ngayon. So pwede po natin siyang basahin, and let's say for example, you have here in the area of health, you have let's say bioinformatics na pwede nating pag-aralan as of the moment na hindi tayo pwedeng pumunta sa lab, so pwede tayong mag-develop ng models for let's say COVID or for the spread of the pandemic, mga ganyan. And also a lot of other research areas na pwede nating pasukin once na pwede nang mag-carry out ng let's say experimentation. Kasi right now is a very good time to really ideate and do our finding sources for our research. Kasi marami tayong time, there's the internet, so ayan, pwede natin gawin. Now, once you have identified your research interest, you might want to immerse yourself in your chosen research area. Just a minute. And to be able to get like a broader perspective on your research topic, you might want to read review articles, attend conferences or webinars, kasi marami po ngayon na free online conferences or seminars na pwede nating puntahan. Lecture videos on YouTube, because YouTube has a wealth of many very good quality lecture videos from top universities around the world. And you can even talk to your professors about your research area, your research interest. Kasi baka meron siyang mga suggestions na pwedeng mag-in-sync kayo or magustuhan mo rin na pwede mong gawing topic for research. Okay? And the purpose of this exercise is to narrow down your broad interest area into a specific topic. Okay, let's say for example, you're interested in mathematical modeling. So upon careful inspection, naging interesado ka dun sa modeling of the COVID pandemic in Metro Manila. So that's already a research topic, a specific research topic na pwede mo nang where you can already formulate your research questions. Okay? So when you already have a specific topic, or let's say 2 or 3 specific topics in mind, you can already hit the books or search the internet for literature sources. So I have here some tips on how to read a journal article, kasi ang pinakamagandang sources po ay journal articles, because you can already put this in your cited references. And some tips, you can in like fast skimming yung mga journal articles. So read the executive summary or the abstract, kasi doon mo makikita yung overall picture ng study. So nandun yung research question statement, nandun yung mga methodologies that they use, and yung mga main conclusions. And now you can also look at the introduction, because dito natin makikita kung paano nila na-formulate yung research idea or yung research question from the background. Kung ano yung problema, ano yung pinopropose nila na solution. And also the conclusion, kung paano nila nasagot or kung paano nila naatake yung problem pertaining to the research question. So ito, parang mga fast skimming lang. Of course, you will also have to read the methodology and all the other parts. Pero ito yung mga pwede natin gamitin just to gather our sources. So just an example, let's say for this journal article, which is fairly recently published. So, and this is about the preparation and characterization of the alpha cellulose, the functionalized cellulose from pineapple crown leaves. So makikita natin dito sa abstract, dito sa taas, kung ano ba yung pinag-uusapan. So this is talking about the alpha cellulose derived from the crown leaves of the pineapple. So ito yung parang pinaka-crown niya. And makikita natin dito yung mga instrumentation that they use, the methodology, the different instruments, and also the main results, the main conclusions from the study. Makikita natin dito sa introduction, nakasulat yung problem. Sinasabi nila na 40 to 80% of the pineapple fruit is discarded as waste. Hindi lang yung crown niya. And this poses a negative impact on the environment kasi mataas yung oxygen and chemical oxygen demand niya. Now, yung sa pineapple, yung leaves niya has been reported to have excellent material mechanical properties. I mean, yung leaf fibers na pwedeng gamitin as polymer composites. Kaya sinasabi nila na there is a need to study the utilization of these byproducts. So makikita natin na dito na formulate yung research proposal. Ayan. So once we have gathered already a sizable number of reference materials, let's say 20 journal articles, for example, we can already have a good overview of the specific topic of interest. Na pwede nating from where we could draw already our research question and our research problem. Now, in identifying potential research topics, there are three techniques that we can use. The first one is to look for the FRIN. FRIN is shorthand for further research is needed. So ito yung makikita natin sa mga research articles which are mentioned towards the end already, na parang it is recommended for further research na ganito, gawin ito, and ayun, makikita po natin doon. So ito pwede nating gamitin na parang idea natin to formulate our own research topic. So we can also give an old research a fresh and unique context kasi pwede nating pag-aralan yung old or yung past research and give it a new application or a new application area for a certain let's say for a certain topic. And we can also use mind mapping, which is like unsupervised or free wandering of the mind. And we will discuss this one by one. So dito sa FRIN, so makikita natin na dito sa article na to, yung FRIN is listed towards the end. Sabi niya, for future research, for this study about the utilization of alugbati leaves, for future research, other parts of the alugbati plant can be used. Let's say, hindi lang yung leaves, pwede yung roots or yung stem part niya. So, ayun, pwede na nating pagkuhanan ng research topic. And maganda yung FRIN because we will have like an original idea or original research topic which has which hasn't been done before. So, ang drawback lang niya is that baka yung recommended na topics won't be interesting to us or just not up our alley. Kaya pwede rin natin siyang i-consider. Okay? So in giving an old research a fresh and unique context, we can contextualize a past research according to a certain demographic or another topic group, a locality or region, a time period, material or product, or an application. So let's say dito sa topic na to, there's about a model simulation approach for exploring the profitability of Cavendish banana farmers in Davao region from harvest to enterprise. So dito pwede nating maisip na how would this research extend to, let's say, other products, let's say for pineapple, which is also in the Davao region or in the Bukidnon region. So pwede nating gamitin yung past research and give it a new context and a new application. Pero we must be very careful in doing this kasi baka wala namang scientific value yung pag-contextualize natin. Let's say dito sa topic na to, i-extend lang natin yung locality from Davao, let's say ginawa siya sa Bukidnon, na pareho lang naman yung set of conditions. So wala naman siyang ganong scientific value. So we really have to stick with the relevance and the impact of our research para mas worthwhile naman yung research activity natin. So the third one would be the mind mapping. So ito parang this is an unsupervised, so wala naman siyang hard and fast rules. So you take a specific topic and where you do your prior literature review, and then you list out or map out the certain aspects of that topic. Let's say for health, you have sleep, stress, exercise, diet, and really map out kung ano yung mga offshoots nung topic na yon. And this way, we can really see yung or imagine yung mga lahat ng overview and aspects ng ating topic, and we can identify gaps dun sa topic na yon where we can develop, and form into a scientific or a research question. So ito pwede nating gawin hindi lang sa college level, pwede rin natin gawin sa high school level. The earlier the better, because it's a good exercise dahil it will really stretch our mental muscles para makita and assess where we are right now. Kung ano pa yung alam natin at hindi pa natin alam. Okay? So when you already have like a specific topic of interest and using the three methods like the FRIN, the contextualization, mind mapping, you can already come up with a specific or a definite research question. So let's say, yung napili mo na topic is urban solid waste management in Metro Manila. So pwede nating isipin yung mga research questions that we can draw out of the specific topic. Let's say, what are the key variables for an effective solid waste management system? And that already answers the question, what? Or how does composting and recycling reduce the volume of disposed waste? So that will pertain to the question how, or yung application itong ating topic na to. Now, in formulating the research problem, we must establish a need for addressing the problem. So yung importance niya and significance niya sa atin, para sa community, or for the advancement of science. It should also highlight the ideal state versus the current state. Kasi katulad nung waste management, ito dapat yung ideal state, and this is what we have right now. This is where we are. So parang kung paano tayo makakapunta from point A to point B. And you should also address the 5 W's about the specific topics like who, what, where, when, and why. Now, hindi naman natin kailangan sagutin lahat. We can just focus on one aspect, on one question, because yun yung pinaka-importante. Doon natin ma-realize yung significance ng study, and it will relate back to the need in addressing the problem. And it's also very important to be clear and concise about the problem, kasi kung we don't have a clear view of the project, of the research topic, then we won't be able to address or solve the research question. And dapat concise siya, thinking about the research guidelines in hindsight para workable and feasible yung ating research problem. Okay? So once you have already the research question or the research problem, it's now time to evaluate that topic. Okay? And the points for evaluation would be the originality, the impact and relevance, the available literature, and adherence to the research guidelines. So talagang babalik tayo dun sa research guidelines. And also the available literature, because kailangan you have a sizable amount of literature sources to build your hypothesis upon, and as a background information para meron kang holistic view of the problem. Of course, it has to be original and novel. Okay. Now, in evaluating the potential research topics, you can make use of this like system where you have a rubric for each topic. Let's say you have 3 topics in mind, and you can like score them according to the originality, relevance, available literature, resources, very important, and adherence to guidelines. So kung meron kang grading system like this, and you can pick the best one. So ayan, magiging systematic yung evaluation natin. Okay? So with that, we can already have a very sound research question and a very well-stated research problem na pwede na nating i-propose sa professor natin, or pwede na nating simulan kung feasible na siya enough. Okay? So just in summary, I would just like restate that undergraduate research is a systematic practice of scientific investigation with a certain distinct and scope, which is intermediary to formal research. And the research topic ideation is the most important part, because it lies at the very heart of your research. At pwede natin po itong i-systematize as a series of topic identification, literature review, and evaluation in circular nature. And yung pangatlo, ay hindi ko makita. And a well-evaluated topic saves you time, energy, and resources. Again, a day in the library will save you a year or a week in the laboratory. Kasi kung hindi maayos yung ating research idea or research topic, magsasayang lang tayo ng oras, energy, and resources. So, makikita natin na yung research process would be very daunting. Could be very daunting, and true enough, it will really take you time and effort, a lot of time and effort in ideating and carrying out the research. Pero kung we are equipped with the right tools and the right attitude and mindset, we will see that the water is not that deep, and we can wade through it, and we can perform well and even ace our research project or our thesis. So just keep calm, ideate well, and focus on your research. So that's it for me. And maraming salamat po sa attention. I know that it's already like already noon time. Marami na po yung gutom, kaya just bear with us. Maraming salamat po for sa mga teachers po natin. Thank you for the work that you are doing and the service that you're doing to our young ones.
Thank you very much, JP. So we will again have a short, I think, lunch break. So pwede po kayong kumuha ng pagkain nyo.
Gano'ng katagal, ma'am?
Ano lang, mga maikli lang din. Mga
Maikli,
siguro 3 minutes. Kukunin nyo lang yung pagkain nyo tapos siguro habang kumakain kayo,
lang sa harap ng computer.
makikinig. Mukha naman pong mga Korea novela stars yung mga speakers natin today. Kaya para lang kayong nanonood ng mga Korean.
Ikaw, wag mo akong isali dyan.
Except for Jeff. Sige po, break po muna ng konti para po medyo makapag, ano muna kayo, stretch or kuha ng food.
Okay, and for those who are still plugged in po, let me just like share my screen with you. Dun po sa sinasabi namin kanina, let me just, please let me know once you can see my screen.
Okay na, kuya.
Okay, so we encourage you po to visit us on like on FilSciHub.com. So www.filscihub.com. And then andun po lahat yung mga resources na binabanggit namin kanina. So we do have our daily blog. So we post materials here every day. We have our events page. So punta lang kayo dito kapag meron kaming mga webinars relevant to teachers and students. You can find all of them listed here. We do have a list of our projects, so whether it be our webinars for teachers, for students, and also we have competitions. We also have lecture modules po. So we've been, as we have actually said sometimes, when time permits, we shoot original videos in Tagalog English that you guys can use to in teaching specific topics or to learn like some certain topics. Kasi we also recognize that sometimes like what's causing students to have this notion that they're not good at the sciences or any of the STEM areas. So that's caused by language barrier. So nagtataglish po kami dito para mas madali nyong maituro sa estudyante, para mas madali yung maintindihan ng mga bata. That is also to acknowledge one of our main objectives of, offering some refresher courses po sa mga teachers natin. Kasi we also recognize that, some of you are like have a general science major and then all of a sudden you get thrown into the jungle that is called advanced chemistry. So, or advanced physics. So, mahalaga po na ma-refresh din yung understanding nating mga teachers sa mga core science subjects na ito para po mas maituro nyo sila ng maayos sa mga estudyante. And then what I was talking about earlier was meron kami diyang mga modules for chemistry, general science, biology, physics, and math. We also have the virtual labs here where we compile topic-specific lab demonstrations on video. So essentially, we do a survey of, some fairly good quality lab videos that you can watch at the comforts of your home. Kasi alam namin ngayon, mahirap po kasi talaga magturo ng science without labs. Kasi syempre nasa bahay lang yung mga estudyante. So even through some fairly good quality recorded videos of experiments, you guys will still be able to, in a way, educate your students in terms of how you can actualize certain science topics. And then we also have specific resources here for like 1-minute science videos, whether it be experiments or trivias. Meron po kami yan. We also have web tutorials. So we're uploading original FilSciHub materials here. And then we have a special corner for teachers po. So over the course of time, we have also been carrying out webinars for teachers to train them on how to navigate the new normal. So nandito po yun sa section na ito. So medyo puno po ang aming website. We also had conducted some competitions amongst high school students. So we had like a poster slogan contest. So if you want to see, like the very great works of art of our students, they're all deposited here. So the top 12 finalists are featured here along with their works. And then what the platform is also trying to do, as we had mentioned earlier, is that we're trying to bridge the communication between Filipino scientists and experts with the educational sector. So whether it be at the college level or at the high school level. So one of our initiatives to support this goal is to feature Filipino scientists. So on this page po, we upload videos featuring Filipino scientists abroad. So gusto naming ipakilala pa sa inyo, sino ba ngayon yung mga mas batang scientists who are making a difference in the scientific community, who are contributing to different areas. We are also featuring Pinoy teachers po. We have had like a recent essay competition amongst teachers where they shared some of their stories. So we are depositing all of them here. And then we have all sorts of things. But where I would like to actually bring your attention to would be on the bottom section of this. So there's a subscribe button here where you can just type in your email address and hit sign up. And then with that, you'll be in our registry system. So when we in the future, when we roll out new contents, we can very easily or conveniently contact you through email po.